Hello universe. This is what? Hi everyone, I'm Nasir.
I'm Misako.
We've been living in Mexico for about 4 months now, and it's been such an incredible journey. Misako is a brilliant creator, and she's been making a lot of really awesome videos about life in Mexico and how to move to Mexico. And I know a lot of folks have been asking me some questions, so today we're just gonna have a conversation and answer some questions that you guys asked on Instagram.
And you're a brilliant creator too, who's been making content about Mexico.
Thank you.
Accepted.
We out here, let's do it. So our first question is, what made us decide on Mexico? Like, what inspired you to come here?
I wanted to explore life outside of the US. I wanted to come to a place that was warm. I wanted to move to a place that I could afford. So I was just like looking at my options, and based on the places that were open, Mexico like just seemed like the best fit for me. So I started in Playa del Carmen, and then we came over to Mexico City, and it's been a perfect match.
So one of my best friends, Christine, her family's from Mexico, so this is actually my 4th time here. But my first time coming was about 2 years ago with her, and it was just really amazing to be around her family and to just really have an authentic Mexican experience, and it made me really appreciate and love the country even more. And yeah, for the same reasons as you, I decided to come because I got a digital job and also to escape the racism of the United States, so.
And that's on period.
On her. So now we're here, which is dope. And I know you grew up in LA, so you basically had like a really strong relationship with Mexican culture.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like that far away from home. Like definitely like the food and candy and just like, I don't know, the vibe doesn't feel too different from LA.
Yes. Also, I'm sorry that I'm like talking in your face with my coffee breath.
No, you don't
like,
have bad breath.
But I do.
Nasir and I are the most paranoid people when it comes to breath. I actually like think about this in every like minute of my life. But your breath has never smelled.
She's just saying
no,
that.
I swear. I swear. And I like the smell of coffee. Like who doesn't like? Yeah.
No, for sure. It's coffee with milk. I just feel like coffee by itself can be like a little burnt sometimes. You see how I'm pulling away, so I don't want to talk to your face.
No, we do that. I know that. Like, especially when you're talking to a boy, like you're like, yeah, like this is, I can never talk to them directly because I'm like, I don't want to scare them away.
Yeah, no, I completely feel you. And actually, literally, just because you said talking to a boy, in general, so far, people wanted to know about dating in Mexico and how that's going. You don't have to disclose any personal information, but has it been easy to socially distance meet people or to meet people on the internet who are here?
So the only way that I've met people is through like friends of friends. So like I'm not a huge fan of the apps just because I feel like it takes so much time to like get to that final interaction. And it's obviously like way harder because we're not going out and meeting people. So I've found success in like friends linking me with people they think I'd be compatible with, but I haven't done that many times, just a couple. And it's been nice. I would like to date more.
Yes.
So hit me up in the DMs.
Right, hit her up.
Seeing this and you live in Mexico City.
Yes. And so far, your thoughts on the guys here?
Love them.
Right?
Love them.
So sweet.
Love them, so sweet,
Beautiful,
so polite,
yes.
beautiful.
So polite. Just,
yes, I could go on and on.
No.
You already know.
Okay. No, absolutely,
Yeah.
just such a good vibe, and it's refreshing because I feel like back home there's, well, I don't know how it is in LA, but like in Connecticut or New York, there's just this sort of like, well, I don't care attitude when you're approaching dating, but I feel like here people are genuinely interested in getting to know about you.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen often in big cities, so I feel like we're lucky. And I know you don't love the apps, but I love Tinder.
Okay.
I'm such a Tinder whore.
I support it. It just doesn't work for me.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But no, but on Tinder, I feel like it's super easy just to meet people because they're, you know, Mexico City is so vibrant in the sense of like there's so many students here, ton of like recent graduates and things like that. So, and also older folks, whatever you're into, but there are a lot of people and lots of options. So, what do you love about Mexico City?
What do I love about Mexico City? I love the people. Everyone is so friendly. I love the language, even though I'm still learning.
You got this.
I love the like architecture. It's a mix of like just modern and what is the like French design?
Yeah.
I love the food. I love that it's walkable. I love that there's like a lot more culture and history here than there are in like maybe more touristy parts. Like I can go on and on.
Yeah.
I love that the Ubers are $2.50.
Yes, that helps a lot. and same though, like yeah. I just love the feeling of being comfortable and being content and not feeling like you have to always be on the go. And I feel like a lot of times like in New York or Connecticut or LA or wherever, it's just always like, okay, let's do this. People here can really just take a moment and relax.
Definitely.
And enjoy each other's company.
Yep, that's a huge part, like huge cultural difference.
Yeah. And not like in a pseudo like faux deep, oh, put down your phone, like let's enjoy each other's company, but like actually like family gatherings and friendly gatherings. Obviously not as many now because of COVID, but just culturally you can feel the warmth through that that you don't often feel in other places, which is nice.
Well, now I'm here.
Yes, now we're here.
Hello. You can't get rid of me.
Stop, the immigration officer's about to drag you out.
Stop.
And actually speaking on that, on immigration and visas and things like that, so far, how would you describe the getting a tourist visa process? And is it a lot harder than people think it is or a lot easier?
Well, for us, coming from the US, as soon as you like land, you automatically get a 6-month visa. So it wasn't difficult for us at all. I know it's different for people coming from other countries, but it hasn't been difficult for us. And to renew it, I think you just have to leave like for 24 hours and come back to reset the 6 months. So hasn't been difficult at all, thankfully. Very grateful for that Mexico has allowed us to come in for such a long amount of time and make the process super simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Super, super grateful. And it's like so awesome. But yeah, most people are like, hey, how are you there? Like, you've been there for 5 months. Like, do you have a visa? What was the process? But yeah, like Misako said, once you arrive, you get a tourist visa, which lasts for 6 months. Actually, fun fact, if you're a US passport holder, you get one in Canada for 6 months, and you also get one in Mexico for 6 months. So good to know if you ever want to go to Montreal or something. But yeah, so once you're here, you can just chill and live your life as long as you're not working, but you can do your remote work and kind of just save your coins on the side and yeah, just live, which is cool.
Yep.
So on areas to live in Mexico City.
Okay.
Let's do it. Only because before I came, I will, say that last year I lived in the center, and technically one of my good friends who is Mexican literally said, why are you in the center? It's so X, Y, and Z. And I had a lovely experience there. But I think a lot of times people think when you come to Mexico City, you have to live in Roma, you have to live in Condesa, which are the two like super hip, gentrified neighborhoods essentially. But Misako, well, if you don't mind sharing, like around what area do you live in?
I'm not gonna reveal that information. I'm not gonna reveal that. But I'm not in Roma or Condesa.
Okay.
I'm a little south.
South, yep.
And I love my area so much. I feel totally safe. There's like so much around me. Yeah, look outside of Roma and Condesa. There's Escandon, there's Nápoles, there's Navarte.
Yep.
Now all the names are escaping me.
Coyoacán, if you go to the south.
Yeah, like Roma and Condesa are so cute, and I like hanging out over there, but don't feel like you're limited to only looking at those places.
Yeah. And I think a lot of like the big appeal of those places was bars and restaurants, but baby, we're in a panty. We're in the middle
of a panorama. We're in the middle of a panorama.
So like I found myself paying so much freaking money just to live in like the hip like neighborhoods to not even be able to like go have a coffee.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, so I think if anything, right now is the perfect time, or whenever you decide to come to Mexico City, like you can explore different parts, and yeah, like it's, for the most part, I've been to most neighborhoods in Mexico City, and they've all have just been a very different experience, but they all have been fulfilling in a different way.
Yeah, I'm hooked. We talk about it every day. Like, I'm hooked on this city, and like every neighborhood is so cute. Every neighborhood is so cute, and I haven't felt unsafe at all. Like, truly. I don't know. I have my place until the end of January, and I love it. But I'm like, do I want to explore another area in Mexico City?
Exactly.
So yeah.
No, for sure. The only reason we keep bringing up the word safe is because when you're back home in the States, everyone refers to Mexico, unfortunately, as quote-unquote unsafe. So it's like, no, we're here telling you it's safe, baby.
Yeah.
Like, it's safe for them. Let me not point out any other parts of the States, but the States is messy sometimes.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like more at ease here than I do when I am home.
100p. Another thing that I think is just great about Mexico City, it's the perfect temperature. Because we were in Playa del Carmen, they were just cracking jokes on me because I would walk out of my apartment and be dripping sweat. Like, I love a cute beach town, but I was really going through it.
Yep. Thank you, Lord of the Rings. Let's
go. Sweating so much. Like, Mexico City, perfect temperature. Like, maybe you need a light jacket, maybe not. Like, 70s all the time. I mean, since we've been here, maybe it'll get colder, but like, perfect temperature.
Literally, like she said, perfect. And also, I'm just, you know, obviously we're being safe and sound, but I'm so upset I can't be out there thotting and bopping as much as I want because you don't even have to bring a jacket to the club. No! You can just roll up. Like,
wow, true.
It's so good.
Soon.
Hopefully next summer.
Soon we'll be thotting and bopping.
Yeah. Thotting and bopping, like.
I love that.
Please. And so another thing, since we were just talking about neighborhoods, where did you find the place that you're currently staying?
So I found the place that I'm currently staying at through Airbnb, and what I like to do is book it for a chunk of time to see if I like the space, and then if I do, I'll message them on the side and say, you know, I'm really enjoying my time here. Would you be comfortable with, you know, signing a contract for me to reserve the space off of Airbnb so that I don't have to pay the fees and you don't either? It's like a 30% markup.
Yeah.
So, and they get hit with fees too. So if they are comfortable with it, and thankfully my host was, we created an agreement to extend my stay here, but off of Airbnb. So I'm super grateful for that. I was able to save a good chunk of money. And like, the contract is totally legit.
Yes. Okay, love that, love that. And similarly to her, same experience essentially. Like, my first few times in Mexico, definitely a big Airbnb person. But then over time, I was like, wait, $300 in fees?
Yeah.
Y'all are trying it.
You're trying it.
Right, during a panty? Like,
in the middle of a panorama.
Like, oh no.
Yeah.
So basically, the one place I'm staying at now is technically, like a bed and breakfast. So basically there are a few options for accommodations. You have your traditional apartments in Airbnb where you can get the whole space to yourself. You have a room that you can rent in Airbnb, which is like kind of like the apartment style. Or there are bed and breakfasts where you could just reach out to them and say, hey, I know you guys have a room, like how much is it to rent it for the month? Or also, if you are down, you could go to like a hostel and you could get a private room in a hostel. So you have a lot of options, and the great thing about it, in terms of price, you could go from the lower scale all the way up to like the maximum amount of your budget. And either way, you're still gonna have a great experience.
Yes. And our friend Energy told us, like she was in one of my videos, my Black Expat video. She's also in Mexico, and she got an incredible deal by signing a 6-month lease. Like, when I shared what I paid in Playa del Carmen, she was like, for why? Because I did it through Airbnb, but she, like, if you go off of those websites and actually just like look around the city for like the renta signs, you like can get probably a much better deal than anything you'll find on Airbnb.
Yeah.
If you're down to stay like for at least 6 months. Yeah,
absolutely. So, you know, maybe if it's best for you, like try a month out on Airbnb or try a month at a hostel, and if you like that area, then like just go for it. Because if you know you're gonna stay for a few months, you might as well sign that like 3-month contract and get that cheap rent.
Right? I'm never going back. I am never going back. I'm kidding. I have to do a quick little run, but Mexico City stole my heart.
Right. So in terms of budget, this is the most like commonly asked question. It's really different for every single person, and I know it sucks when people say that, but it's the truth. So like, for example, last year when I was living in Guadalajara, I had just graduated college. I was maybe only making like $800 a month, and I could still afford to rent a room, I could still afford to feed myself, and I could still afford to go get beers. So I think it's really important.
All you need, rent, food, and beers.
Rent, food, and beer. So I think like a lot of times, you know, I feel like we're similar in the sense of like when we go somewhere, we don't mind, like we're very low maintenance in that sense. So like there are some people who like really love luxury, and that's so great, like good for them. And you know, in Mexico City there are so many beautiful like luxurious apartments and things like that. You can go to Polanco, you can go to Santa Fe, there you go, that's the one. But yeah, for us it's sort of like we're very chill, and we paying less to have more experiences outside of our homes, sort of thing.
Yeah, I've definitely found it's easier to like make my, I just started working again on the show, so now I have a full-time job, remote job. Before I was just really living off savings, and I found that I could make my savings last much longer here than I would have been able to in LA. In LA I would have been like, girl, you got a couple months and then you're out. And here it's
2 months and drop dead.
Right? And I've been able to like experience eating out more, which I didn't do as much in LA because it's so expensive. And yeah, just like not having to worry about paying for gas because I don't have a car here, but still being able to get around pretty affordably. I think if you're coming from like a major city, any major city in the States, like if you can make that work, I think you can make this work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say on the other hand, if you're coming from a small town where things are cheap in the States, maybe Mexico City might be a little bit more expensive. It just really depends on where you go. Like, you know, sometimes you can find a coffee that's literally $1.50.
Yeah. Sometimes
you could find a coffee that's about $6 in Mexico City. So it really depends. So there's no right answer. But the last thing we wanted to do was for people to be like, oh, Mexico is so this or so that, when it's truly relative to what you're used to spending.
Yeah. That's something that I think we both are trying to be more conscious about, talking about it in one way, but the reality is everybody's budget and lifestyle is different. Like maybe something that could be considered more affordable is more expensive for someone else. So it's hard for us to say like you need this much, and it's like it costs this much to live here, because it just really depends on what you require.
Absolutely. Well, yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for being amazing.
Thank you.
And telling me, Nasir, pick up your damn camera.
I need to do the same. We're gonna do that tomorrow.
Right. Thank you. But yeah, so we wish you the best on your Mexico City journey. Please, if you have any questions, comment below. Let us know, because we really love helping people out, especially people of color and Black folks. Like, free your mind, free your soul. All right, boy.
Bye. Cut the camera.
Right.
Cut the camera. Black China.